With a 1.43-inch AMOLED display, a durable body forged entirely in stainless steel, IP69K resistance, tracking of over 170 sports, and a 470 mAh battery that can last up to 15 days of use, the Kospet T3 Ultra 2 is a great smartwatch that also doesn't break the bank, so hit subscribe now and we'll check out what this thing can do. So full disclosure before we get started though, the video is sponsored by Kospet and they've sent me the T3 Ultra 2 to showcase to you guys. So here we have the T3 Ultra 2 from Kospet, a smartwatch that literally does everything you need from using your phone, tracking your health metrics, tracking sport activities, including swimming and much more. Now on the front, we've got a 1.43-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 466 by 466, which delivers 461 ppi. It's bright, vibrant and responsive and just a pleasure to use, and even out in the sunlight the display is clear, and I like that we can quickly toggle brightness from the notification bar. Now the body is forged entirely out of stainless steel with a 316L stainless steel bezel, we've got a 306 stainless steel case and even stainless steel function buttons. It's IP69K water and dust resistant, and it also supports 5 atmospheres, which means if you're using it in the water you can go to 50 meters deep. And it's also 15mm standard 810H certificated, and it's passed 28 reliable internal tests, meaning that it will stand the test of time. Now we've also got the silicone strap here, but it is also available in a silicone plus steel premium version. Now navigation of the watch is also nice and easy, and you can use swipe controls on the display, or we've also got 4 buttons on the body for up, down, select and back. And I actually find myself using a mixture of these 2 navigation methods, and we can also set the back button as a shortcut for any app we want. The phone pairs with a Kospet Fit app that you can get in the App Store, and a lot of the settings and features that you can set in either the app or set on the watch itself, whichever one is easiest for you at the time. Now first up, when it comes to the health tracking, we can track heart rate, blood oxygen, blood pressure, stress settings and mood monitoring. And the great thing here is that if there's any metric that you don't want tracking, then you can just disable the 24-hour tracking to save on battery, but for this review I've turned them all on. Now we've also got a barometric pressure and altitude measurements, as well as a built-in compass. Now all the metrics can be viewed on the phone or the watch, whatever's easiest for you, and with the 6 satellite positioning system, the tracking remains accurate. So we'll start with the phone app, and under home you can see it's tracked my steps, the total distance, and it shows me the calories that I've burned. And then we've also got a ring that shows how much of the step goal I've completed so far today. If I press on that, it then goes into all of the data, which I can then filter by day, week or month, and then it also lists all of the separate events underneath. Now below that we've got my current heart rate along with a graph for the day, and again I can press it to change it between the day, week or month reporting, and it shows me all of the heart rate zones in the ring underneath. Now next up we've got sleep that shows me how much sleep I got last night, and again if I press on that I can choose to report over either a day, a week or a month, and then it also details each stage of my sleep cycle below that, as well as an analysis underneath with information on what's normal and what isn't. Now we also find the battery life really helpful here. With a lot of other smartwatches, I find myself charging them most nights, meaning I'm not really getting any sleep tracking, but with the 12 to 15 days of typical usage on the battery, I can get plenty of sleep tracking data from the T3 Ultra 2. Now next up we've got the blood oxygen, which shows me the percentage, and again we can report by day, week or month when pressing it, and it's also going to show the blood oxygen levels as well as the current levels. Same thing for stress, and of course we've got the current levels here. If I press it, I get the same reporting along with the stress ring underneath that labels how long I'm in each stress stage. Next up, we've got exactly the same for your blood pressure, with the graphing of systolic pressure and diastolic pressure, and then for mood, we've got exactly the same thing again. So all of the important metrics are there on the home screen, and as I said, if you don't have your phone out or just don't want to get it out, you can open up all of these monitoring apps on your smartwatch. So for instance, I'll go through and open up heart rate, and you can see I've got current heart rate as well as resting heart rate, and if I press it, I can then see the graph for the day. But of course, if you want to look over a week or month, then you do need to use the phone app. Now under sport, you can see we've got the sport management, and these are just the popular ones here, but if you press edit, you can see there's a huge list of sports that you can add to this list. Now if we try a run, for instance, I can set goals based on the distance, durations or calories before I start the run. And then over in settings, you can select what information you want it to broadcast to you. So select what it is that you want it to broadcast from here. Now I personally find them all useful and have them all given to me every kilometer, apart from the heart rate, and that's the only one I turn off, as I can just look at the heart rate by looking at the watch if I need to, and it's something that's just not that important to me while running. And here's the data you're going to see on your watch face while you're running. Now of course you can turn the workouts on from the watch app as well as the phone, and most of the time I actually start it using the watch. One of the best things for me about running is I can swipe left on the screen to give me quick access to my media controls, which is something that I tend to change a lot while I'm running. Now when it comes to settings, you can change them on the watch itself by going into apps and then settings, but I find it much easier to adjust most of them on the phone app. You can see we've got the watch and its remaining battery, we've got watch faces, and then in here you can see we've got always on display faces with a nice selection to choose from, and then we've got loads of different sections depending on whether you want more of a clock or to include some health metrics in there as well. And then we've also just got lots of different styles. And as you can see, there's loads of sections in here, and then each section has a lot of choices to choose from as well, and you can even go and customize your own watch face. Now under display, you can set the timeout, and personally I have this on 60 seconds. Raise to wake you can turn on or off, and then you can also press Find Watch to make it play a sound if you don't know where it is. And then we've also got the weather where you can change between centigrade or Fahrenheit, and then we've also got more settings as well. Now under that, you can enable or disable the phone notifications, SMS notifications, app reminders, sedentary reminders, set alarms, and then we've got health monitoring that we covered earlier, contacts, SMS quick replies, emergency SOS, system update, and about device, as well as the option to clear data and factory reset. When it comes to your most used settings, you'll want them accessible quickly, and I like that if I swipe down on the watch face, you can see it all here, and you can customize this list to include your most used settings, which makes life much easier. Now under profiles on the app, you can see and edit your profile. We've also got all of the health reports to keep a good track on your activities, and you've also got goal settings, menstrual cycle if you want to track that, and even more stuff including third-party linking to things like Strava. So when it comes to navigation on the watch, you've got the buttons for up, down, back, and select, but most of the time I find myself using the swipe gestures. Swiping down gives you the quick settings, swiping right takes you to your notifications, swiping up gives you these cards of all of your health metrics and more, and again this list is also customizable so you can include the things you want and get rid of the things that you don't use. And then swiping left shows you all of the apps that we can open. Now this is also the default layout for all of the apps, but you can change this in settings, and we've got plenty of different themes to suit your preference, but I actually found the default worked best for me. Now with all of the apps, you can use the buttons to navigate, or as I prefer to do, you can swipe up and down to navigate, press to open, and then swipe right to go back. Now of course, you can answer your calls from the watch and control any music playback from the watch as well, and just quickly stay updated with the notifications from your wrist without having to keep taking the phone out of your pocket. Now we've also got health alerts for things like low or high heart rates or low blood oxygen levels, so that if anything isn't as it should be, you can get notified and act quickly. But overall, I've been really happy with the watch, and it's the perfect size for me to navigate, and as I said, probably my favorite thing about it is how good the battery life is, and I find myself using less than 10% every day no matter how much I use it, so it's just one less thing to worry about. And then I also like how bright and vibrant the display is, making it easy to see, especially when I'm out in the sunlight, and if I'm mid-run trying to view average pace, it just makes things so much easier. Now when it comes to pricing, it's currently $159.99, which I think is a pretty decent price considering all of the specs, features, and the build quality. And of course, I've placed a link down in the description below, so you can go ahead and grab yours now. Now hopefully I've covered everything in today's video, but of course if there's anything I've missed or you've got any questions at all, then just ask them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech.